I think that what's difficult though for Christians is that these intuitions are not normal intuitions. They do come from Jesus. Like, and this is where it gets really confusing. People that really want to follow Jesus find the intentions of people that want to fight for social justice to be in line with the teachings of Jesus. And I think there are real there's a lot to be said for that argument. They are in line with the teachings of Jesus, like kindness, right? And love for those who are disadvantaged. Jesus, he quoted Isaiah 61, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, and he has caused me to preach good news to the poor, to set free the oppressed, to release the prisoners. I mean, this idea that I am here to create freedom, and I'm here to help people that otherwise society is oftentimes neglecting to help. That's a very Christian intuition. And those of us who want to follow Jesus should seek to do that in not just word, but in really radical deeds. So it's difficult
Yeah.
to like we're constantly wrestling with these movements that are attempting to do that without the gospel, without real appeal to the full gospel, without talk about salvation or forgiveness or sin. To do away with all of those elements, the context in which Jesus came to set free the oppressed was primarily a spiritual battle that he was trying to wage. And we take out, and it has physical implications, but then we take all the spiritual out of it and just try to use the intuitions Jesus brought to the West and try to enforce these things only in the physical world. That seems to me to be getting close to the spirit of Antichrist.
Well, it makes me think of like a cut flower being removed from its root structure so that it's still beautiful, and it might even be part of a beautiful arrangement, flower arrangement, but it's not going to last for long. And within a week or two, it's going to be wilting and, on its way towards death. And I feel like when you take a good thing like kindness or justice and you remove it from the root structure of Christ, then it can become something really weird that's going to wilt really quickly. And it's because I think about it's like removing it from I can't do those things for very long if I'm not filled with the Holy Spirit or filled with Christ or filled with Jesus, my belief about Jesus. And so, like, I might call that doing something in my own flesh or like relying on myself
Mm.
to do a nice thing. And by the end, I'm so annoyed and irritated and whatever. But if I'm like doing this thing because the Lord is asking me to do it, then I feel like He's going to give me what I need to complete the good work or the task at hand. Um, and I think that if you follow the trail of these good acts or good deeds, these they seem positive at first kinds of things that are being done. They're being done perhaps for the wrong reasons or to prove a point or to, like you said, to kind of like make another party, the negative side of another party kind of stand out. And so, or they're not actually solving the problem. Like a lot of times, these types of actions are perpetuating the problem. We see this in different like homeless shelters and things like that, where it's like, yeah, you do need to give this person a place to sleep for the night, but is there something else that could be done to help them get off the streets for good? And I know that a lot of people wrestle with those questions at a much deeper level than I do, but it's just like when they're kind of like temporary fixes without Jesus and without his ways and without a commitment to him, without submitting to his ways and his because you don't just need kindness, you also need forgiveness, and you also need the compassion that leads you to, like, discernment and understanding about what might be happening in a situation, and Holy Spirit can guide us into, like, when to walk away from from a good deed, and when to press forward in a good deed, and so, I don't know, those are just some thoughts
Yeah.
about the Antichrist side of things.